Hi, my name is Reid. I'm a solicitor advocate and partner at McGovern Reid. We are a firm of solicitors specialising in criminal law. It's very easy to start a video on police interviews, and whether you listen to this whole video or just take one thing away from it, you can take just this thing. If the police want to speak to you, give them your name, address, date of birth, and tell them you are saying nothing more without speaking to a solicitor. And do that. Say nothing else until a solicitor speaks to you. In our adversarial system, in which the police actively pursue the interests of the prosecution, the defence solicitor must actively pursue the interests of the suspect. One of the most important parts of my job as a criminal defence solicitor is the advice I give before, during, and after a police interview. Most people believe a criminal prosecution begins in court, but it actually begins when the police first make contact with you and when you are interviewed as a suspect. The law allows for everyone who is a suspect to speak to a solicitor and/or have a solicitor present during the police interview. And yet this right is bizarrely and commonly refused. Why do people refuse the right to have a solicitor during police questioning? Well, some of the reasons I often hear are that people believe if they're innocent, they do not need a solicitor. This is incorrect. Regardless of anyone's personal views as to their guilt, they are about to be questioned by highly trained police officers. Without legal advice or an understanding of the procedures, people in this position tend to provide what they think is an innocent account and actually incriminate themselves. An incrimination under caution is the best evidence the police can obtain against a suspect. Another reason is people say the police told them they would be in custody for hours waiting for legal advice. This is common, but simply untrue. People may not be familiar with police procedure or the criminal justice system and simply refuse the right. And the purpose of this video is hopefully to educate people. Others may think that they have to pay for a solicitor and may not have the money to do so. This is also a common misunderstanding, as anyone who's been interviewed by the police in Scotland is entitled to legal aid for advice. And this is advice at the police station, regardless of their financial circumstances. Just a reminder, if you have to take one thing away from this video, if the police want to speak to you, give them your name, address, date of birth, occupation and nationality, and tell them you are saying nothing more without speaking to McGovern Reid. And do that. Say nothing until one of our experienced criminal solicitors speaks to you. If we are informed of your arrest, we will act immediately. We will consult with the police, obtain information from them as to your arrest. We will consult with you and give you the appropriate legal advice, and will make sure that the police are taking care of you. We will ensure that you are properly accommodated if you suffer from a disability or vulnerability. We will ensure that you are treated fairly by the police and that the interview process is conducted in a fair manner. The right to have a solicitor and the right to silence should not simply be a consideration. It is a legal right. It is so important. It is a right that should always be taken up.